Hello, pull up a chair and join us in the alcove, here with episode 85 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, the Chaoslands. Before we start, we have a handful of quick announcements, so let's go through those. We upload recorded VODs of our game to YouTube, and if you're watching this, that's likely where you are. If you aren't, you can find us on youtube.com/@thealcove. That's youtube.com/@THEALCOVE. If you like this video, please click the like button down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, click the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when our next video goes live. If you want, you can also go and follow us on all of our social media accounts. Or don't, because social media is a hell. But if you want to, our Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok are all there. They exist, and they may or may not have content on them. We use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream, and you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Taldore, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. Links to those can be found below.
You fucked up.
I'm not doing it.
Imagine missing that.
That's all the announcements, except for the fact that we will probably be taking a bit of an extended break again after this episode.
But not that long.
When we rejoin you, it will look slightly different again.
It'll be a real game board again.
Yeah.
Very excited. So, with that, let's begin our dive into the Chaoslands.
Oh, wait. Sex thing coming in.
The Iron Will. Having spent the last couple of days arriving at and exploring the Rexate of Silthia, a bastion of arcane learning and experimentation nestled deep within the Etherglass Desert, are hoping to prevent a great disaster that you have foreseen. Since your arrival, you have learned of some of the forces behind this impending disaster. Lady Angelica Garnett, a sibling or kin of sorts to your companion Arkmir. The Night Wolf, Karis Maranon, some sort of ancient ties to Keltier's folks. What? And allegedly,
Since when?
Clanko the Conjurer. You still have no proof about that.
Oh, we do.
We heard them. It's a piece of shit. I've always knew him. Since like 2022.
You've spent the last few days in the city proper investigating these perpetrators and their potential bases of operation within the city. You tracked down Lady Garnett to a private office within the Syncrophic Academy of Magic and made a few connections therein who helped you confront her and thwart her plans. Namely, Head Professor Zivan Vesh of the Department of Necrology and Entropy, who also, in confidence, revealed his secret connection to Karis, requesting you all to keep it private, in exchange providing his support to help you undermine the Vampire Lord in general. After a grueling battle within the office, you had made your way back to the Orrery, a private sanctum built by timekeeper Tisha Trasandro, which now also serves as a bastion for your operations within the city, and potentially the continent at large. Due to the teleportation circle and the private plane sequestered within the top floor of the building, making it an ideal staging ground for your future endeavors. As you rested for the night,
We were tired.
and made plans for the day to come, and a potential foray to track down Karis and infiltrate a lounge within the West Wall district of the city, known as the Dark Regret.
Hashtag no regret.
Hashtag no regret.
We spent a large part of the last session completing some housekeeping, setting up your bastion facilities, and having some conversations about everything that had occurred recently, including the strange appearance of a mirror within the tower. One seemingly not visible to Tisha's memory construct, and one that seems to have an enigmatic figure that looks strangely like Astra, keeping an eye on you all from within. With this strange experience still in the back of your mind, you packed up for the morning and headed out into the city to visit the Syncrophic Academy, where you had planned to speak with Professor Vesh this morning to learn more about Karis and what resources and knowledge he can provide. So, as you, I believe last time I mentioned this, you arrived at the main gate of the academy, and the guards were, you informed them of your purpose of visit. They took you to get registered, same half-hour-long endeavor of getting a sigil.
And now we got this.
And now you have a day pass.
Heck yeah.
Every time you say Zivan Vesh, it reminds me of Zivan Vesh from Black Panther. You know what I'm talking about?
That's not at all what they say. Zivan Vesh!
Zivan Vesh! I'm glad that's recorded. Zivan Vesh! Black Panther's gonna come save us.
with your day pass in hand, you're appointed by the guards of the academy in the general direction of a gazebo, or outside hut of sorts. That seems to be a little bit sequestered from the rest of the pathway, and most people are seemingly just walking past it. It's the small winding path through a bunch of trees that takes you to this rather isolated marble structure. You can, as you crest through the trees, you can see from within, or from the path, you see a figure standing within the gazebo. What are you all? What are you all doing as you are walking through these trees? It's a nice, lazy morning. The academy seems a little bit less crowded today than it was yesterday.
At this point, is it just us?
Yeah.
Like the five of us?
Yeah, the guards have pointed you down the pathway towards there, and make an insight check for me. Andrew, what's your passive insight?
23.
Jesus Christ.
You gather that the guards left you on this path a bit of a hurry.
Okay.
As they were leaving. They were just like, yes, just continue down this path. The head professor will be waiting in the structure within the woods.
They were leaving early?
The guards.
They sprinted away from us.
In the moon petal gazebo is what they
Moon paddle?
Is Volro and Melira with us, or did they stay behind?
I think they would be with you.
Okay.
Unless you wanted them to stay behind. As you crest through this pathway, you immediately get a scent of just like beautiful flowers. It smells very calming, a little bit almost like jasmine. As you crest through, you see these like beautiful like wildflowers, as well as some cultivated flower bushes that line this pathway and lead up to this gazebo. This gazebo is made of pure white marble, with 8 columns that are kind of just like holding up a ring. It's not like fully enclosed, like covered from the top. It's like a ring around the center of this. It's fairly large, actually. But there's just one figure standing within, and they're looking away from you.
Can we tell that it's Vash?
As you approach, the figure turns around. You do see Zivon Vesh. He looks very different. Whereas before he'd been dressed in relatively, casual outfit, so to speak, with like plain black robes and like silver, a few silver belts and stuff. You now see him garbed in a rich black silk shirt and pantsuit with ashy gray pinstripes and pale white, almost ivory or bone accents on his belt, his boots, his gloves. He has these massive pauldrons on his shoulders that are just trailing what looks like a black fabric, but it's dissipating as it hits the ground. It is essentially shadowy smoke. And his long black hair, while still slicked back, is adorned with a silver circlet, at the middle of which is a large chunk of green streaked obsidian. He looks like he's wearing his regalia of his station.
Did you say cauldron?
Cauldron.
Oh,
Shoulder,
okay.
like
He
massive
has a whole
shoulder pad.
cauldron on his
Yeah.
That's-
I mean, that's a cool pauldron. Pauldron. I have a drawing idea.
But he looks much more formally dressed at this juncture. And as you approach, he motions to you all to come join him. Greetings. Good morning. Hope you all had a restful evening to sleep.
I did, thank you. You're looking a bit different this time.
Yes. Well, certain events require certain formalities. Speaking of which, before you are all surprised, and while we have a little bit of a moment to chat amongst ourselves, many other folks will be joining us here momentarily. I recommend you all be very mindful of what you say, in particular of what we have discussed in the past.
For what purpose will the others be joining us?
I believe it is important that we have a council, and some of my colleagues agree. And as you all have very particularly unique opinions and situation within the city, in terms of the information that you've provided us, I believe it is important for us to make sure you all have the requisite access and support needed.
Is this going to be a game of politics?
Unfortunately, yes. And if you have a certain distaste for it, I would recommend somebody else to speak upon your behalf.
Question. Really, wait, I'm not volunteering. I'm not volunteering. Question. Sorry, I have a nervous bladder. Is there a washroom around here?
Not within this gazebo now.
Well, not within the gazebo. I understand that, but
This is a little bit removed from the rest of the buildings.
I'll hold it.
It is reserved for private gatherings of the council.
Okay.
I'm a little curious. Why now? Why, I don't know. Feel like we just walked into something. And can I try to get a read if there's any nefarious intention?
Oh, he's super nervous.
Make an insight check.
Oh yeah, he is also very fucking hard to read. I believe 20. 4.
There doesn't seem to be any nefarious intent to it. He's... If anything with that, you gather that he is also a little bit nervous. Yes.
Who would be who's like the head honcho of the school?
You have no idea.
Oh, he's here. She's here. They're here.
That's not true.
Do you know the head honcho of the school?
I mean, we meant to have Divinator or Nur, but Divinator. Is that me in a tuxedo?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So Liz Varis is the head diviner, but that's not who I was talking about. Anyways, I don't need to distract. But
He says, if things go well, we will be able to provide you with enough support to deal with Karis. But I would still recommend, and this will be difficult, to keep my connection with Karis private. I will speak upon the behalf of the situation and answer as many questions as needed. But I recommend a couple of things. One, do not lie. And two,
Never.
Don't you speak at all. Don't even open your mouth.
and two, you can trust us. Because of how many of us there are, knowing the truth there will at least be a few people who are very trustworthy, myself included.
to what extent do the others know of what's happening and what we intend to do?
As you say that, you hear footsteps coming up the path. As you, he begins to answer and then looks past you and sees just down the pathway a tall half elf with like dark brown skin, tattoo of a teardrop on her face. You recognize her. This is Artificer Mira Kalani, or Head Professor Mira Kalani. She was the Department of Enchantment and Illusion. She was who Lizbar is called to her office to ask questions about the construct that had attacked her.
Don't look at my spelling. I have no idea what it spells.
Kalani?
What's her name again?
Mira Kalani. Khalani.
I'm not gonna write that down.
It's a tall half elf with dark skin. She has a messy white shirt, light brown hair that's tied up into a bit of a messy bun. Wearing like dark brown leather overalls. Walking pretty casually up the street, and she sees you all and almost like waves. Hell, good to see you all again. I believe I guess I'll hold my update on the matter that we discussed until the rest are here. Hey, Vesh. He just nods.
So,
Mira, looking as enchanting as always.
Aiden Sahir.
Alden. But yes. I might have said Aiden last time, to be
Alden.
perfectly honest.
Yeah. Alden Sahir, the headmaster of the Prismatic Council.
Correct.
Yeah, but he's just a
Calder just yells that out. It's like,
I didn't expect to be the first one here, well, except for you. Is this regarding? Then Wesh just nods.
I have taken a bit of a step back. I don't intend to.
I intend to clear my name and perhaps yours as well. I believe there are certain other of our companions who were surprised to hear their helpful constructs were recalled from them. And Mira just shakes her head and is like, hell of a matter, but that's what you gotta do. So, you all seemed like you had an eventful day yesterday. You met this guy.
She pointed at me.
She pointed at Vesh. And she's walked up to the gazebo and is almost like inside. And in the gazebo, there's like small benches just towards the side. She walks over to one of them and just sits down on it, and her legs crossed.
I'm not allowed to speak because they think I lie all the time.
Well, I don't think that'll be too much of a problem, to be honest. But
Oh, we're gonna get Zone of Truth.
we can wait for a few more people to show up.
How many are we expecting?
Wesh just looks up and says, 8. Well, 2 of us are here already, and as he says that, a third figure approaches down the dirt road. You recognize this figure as well. This is Head Diviner Nyla Varis. She's wearing an ornate headdress with 3 prongs of bronze, pale white robe with gold-trimmed accents, gold bracers on her arms that look like snakes of gold, almost like coiled around. A pale white cloak that's dragging along the floor behind her, leaving a trail of sand that slowly rises up from the ground and glitters before disappearing. She seems dressed in ornate garb as well, unlike Mira, who's arrived looking pretty casual. Her facial expression is very stern and serious. She's not jokey or smiling about anything. And even Mira, like, with your passive insight, you can tell that Mira is almost putting on a bit of a jovial face, but when she's not talking to you, her face falls into a bit of a stern, like, resting. Kind of, yeah. Just not at ease. Maya approaches, climbs up the steps, and almost like stares icy daggers at Vesh. Zivon. Lady Losvaris. Pleasure is mine. Thank you for attending, and I would once again like to apologize for what befell you. We will speak about this in front of the rest of them. She looks at you all, and it's a little bit more of a, like, her face warms a little bit as to seeing you all nods. And walks over to Mira and almost just like sits beside her. Actually, no, she remains standing. She's not gonna sit down. A little bit of a break as you all stand around awkwardly.
Are they only expecting one of us to go sit in this council? Or
There's
however many of us?
no expectation. You all are within this fairly large gazebo.
Okay.
You're kind of standing off to the side. Vesh is standing in the middle of the gazebo. Lizvaris and Kalani have both kind of moved off to a side. It's large enough that even for your rather large group of 7 individual, pretty roomy. But you have a moment to among yourself while waiting for the next few individuals to arrive.
So how does this work? Do we raise our hands to speak, or? And Diamond is like a bit nervous.
Who are you asking that to? Vesh? Or just among your group?
Yeah, well, I guess like whoever is around.
I mean, you all are guests at this council, and your input will be held fairly valuably, since you appear to have the greatest idea of this threat that is befalling the city. So, just speak candidly.
Oh, all right.
Professor Kalani and Head Diviner, would you like some tea? It's a fresh pot of chamomile.
Thank you.
I don't. Mike doesn't know what that is, but I heard it's great.
Well, as far as like waves it off, but Mirakalani does take it, and it's lovely. I'm meaning to ask you. You're from Schema, right?
Oh yes, that's correct.
How's the city doing?
Last I remember, I think better than when we found it. That's not true. I've heard that saying a few times, but that doesn't apply. It's doing okay, I think. From what I remember, it's been a little bit since we've been there, but
That's good to know.
Some troubles, some good things.
I have fond memories. I haven't obviously have some contacts within the city, and that's what seems to have gotten me into some of this mess. But
Do you know my father, Mr. Sparkeye?
can't say I do. Do you know Hammond Halfstep?
I do.
Player talk. What was his last status?
MIA.
Yeah.
I start sweating. I do.
I apprenticed under him back when I was young. He was quite talented.
Yes, he's
think
very
that's Harriet,
talented.
wasn't
We actually recently were acquaintances with his daughter as well.
Oh, little Harriet. I remember her. She was just born when I was there.
So it's been quite a while then.
Make an insight check.
She's been there yesterday. 15.
She looks way too young for what she's saying.
Yeah, but isn't she like a half elf?
She's a half elf.
So
You
that
know,
means
half
she's
elves
probably
don't
like-
age that much.
Half elf
differently.
is very similar to human.
Is
nature.
it? Interesting. Remember, folks, we shouldn't lie while we're in this meeting.
I would never.
That's a lie.
God damn it, glows red somewhere.
As you are having this discussion on how the figure approaches, this is a very stern-looking, tall, pale-skinned high elf. He's got an upturned nose that's just almost looking down at everyone. Short blonde hair, clean-shaven, very strict-looking. He's dressed in silver sleeveless robes, with dark maroon embroidery and a large belt of thick maroon rope that's almost tied up around his waist. Dark red boots with silver runes and embroidery. The thing that you notice immediately about him is that he has tattoos all over both of his arms, in silver ink. He approaches and steps into the gazebo. What is the purpose of this council meeting? I have classes to attend to and a lecture to plan. Vesh nods to him. Let's wait for the rest of our companions to get here before we go into the matters. Professor Phaedron, Azarius Phaedron,
this guy.
I'd like you to introduce you all to the Iron Will, the group of adventurers that have arrived here in the city and brought dangerous tidings. Let's just
I
say.
wrote his name somewhere. Arcane Theory and Spellcraft dude. Azarius Phaedron. I take good notes, guys.
And very shortly behind him, there's another figure that approaches that's looks almost a little bit hunched and a little bit more burly of sorts. A pale green-skinned half-orc with kind eyes and a receding hairline of gray hair, brass spectacles and a long gray beard that's like braided and bound with a.
This is a new dude?
Yeah, this is another figure that's like just slowly walking up the path. You'll see him almost like duck down and like rummage among the flowers, like picks one up,
Oh, I
smells
like
it,
this guy a lot.
takes another like 2 or 3 clippings and like stuffs them inside his black leather coat that he's wearing. His shirt, he's got a fairly simple pair of like trousers and a plain white shirt on. It's got a bunch of stains of like oils and like other chemical substances on it. A few like chemical burn holes in the shirt. Looks a little bit ratty of sorts. So he very slowly ambles his way up to
What
the gazebo.
race is he?
Half orc.
Oh, sick.
As he approaches, he looks up. Hi. And there's a few of you already here. Pleasure. And lots of new faces here. Pleasure to meet you all. Professor Hamoudi.
Amoudi.
Hamoudi.
Is that what they
Hamoudi. Elias Hamoudi. Great day today. Brilliant weather.
Very nice day. Would you like some chamomile?
Oh, certainly. Thank you very much. I
Oh,
did
yes,
have to leave my morning tea in order to come here. Much appreciated. What's your name?
Oh, the big one.
The big one.
You know me.
No, you're quite big.
Yes, I've been told that a few times.
I'm like again, I'm probably like behind folks a little bit, like our group. But I am very closely, like at this point, I am just very closely watching everybody else that's not our group. And for him, I'm just wondering, is he giving off the impression of putting up an act to almost like be a little disarming, to be like, oh, like I'm so,
He would never.
I'm so kind.
Dare.
Make an insight check.
I already put a heart beside his name.
Calthy was just like, you know what? Fuck that guy. I don't trust his kind eyes.
25.
Oh yeah, kind eyes.
You gather that there is a sense of like everybody here is kind of putting on a little bit of an act, but you also don't like see any like anything
I don't actually
to be
like
cautious about with them.
We just Vesh unexpectedly invited a bunch of people to talk about what we're going to do in the city here, so
Yep.
I am on high alert right now.
I think it's great. More allies.
Also, for the purpose of the scene and for the purpose of the conversation, if you want May or Vilro to do something, just like tell me. You
Make
can
him
also
kiss.
just RP them if you'd like. But
Not Keith.
there's too many other
How about
NPCs
an
in the
orgy?
scene
Yeah,
for me to take care of 2 other ones, so I'm punting them off to you.
I'm going to assume they're not going to be doing too much unless somebody says something real dumb that they don't like.
You have a little bit more time as the next batch of people approach, but the gazebo is starting to get a little bit crowded. You notice Elias almost like walk over to Mira and they start having like a private conversation. Elias just like hanging close to them. Azarius Badrin has kind of like walked off to the back and is just standing there on his own, just almost like twiddling his hands, steepling his hands and like stretching them.
Sorry, do we hear what Hamoudi teaches? Or
No.
was it?
He didn't.
Then as
stinky.
Arkmir
He's a
will
very
go up to
stinky
him and
boy.
introduce himself. Arkmir Croft.
Pleasure to meet you. I imagine you're with this group of adventurers. Professor Hamoudi, Elias Hamoudi.
Professor, very curious what it. Got to know a couple of the other professors. Curious what you teach here.
Oh, I teach alchemy and transmutation.
Damn it!
That is my department. Yeah. I've been working on some rather fascinating research recently, and unfortunately, I had to take a little bit of time to attend this council. But Vesh insisted that it was urgent.
Oh, I see. Well, hopefully, we get a positive outcome from this meeting. But, yeah, it'd be very interested to know more about what you do later, if not now.
No, certainly. Come by my faculty at any time. You're not a student, and he looks at your day pass. I'm sure we can arrange a tourist visit. My faculty is fairly. We're not as busy as some of the other ones. There aren't that many students interested in alchemy these days. Everybody's looking for the flashy arts. Everybody wants to create lightning and fire. And speaking of, and he turns as he hears something, and you all also hear these massive, like, stomping feet. And rounding the corner is a... Rounding the corner is an almost 10 and a half foot tall mountain of a man. Burly...
Mountain man.
I'm right there.
Pale white skin, bald hair.
How pale are we talking?
Not as pale as you,
Okay.
but almost like granite stone color. He's wearing a long split robe of bright red and storm gray, shirtless underneath. You can see his pecs and the top of his abs. He's very jacked.
Chiseled.
Very chiseled.
that would actually be taller than me.
Probably, yeah.
By a little bit, actually, because I'm like 10 foot, just under 10 foot.
Does big one's trunk go?
Yeah, it's straight around.
He's wearing a long split robe of bright red and storm gray with streaks of pale white across it that look almost like clouds and waves. On his left shoulder is a single, almost another pauldron of blackened steel.
Cauldron.
Another cauldron.
I did draw him with a cauldron on his shoulder.
That's what I was picturing.
We should put like a little,
Is that what that
little
should look like?
straw.
No.
Damn it. It is now, it's canon.
Should put a little straw.
Like a beer hat.
Yeah, but it's cauldrons on the side.
Sorry.
He's got this like loose fitting, almost like white pants, like very loose, very poofy pants that he's
This
wearing.
is for sure the PE teacher.
And dark black metal boots that almost match the pauldron on his shoulder. That are making like a clinking noise as he like steps towards the. He steps towards the gazebo. Lifts up his hand. Hail, Wesh. Wesh almost like walks up to the front. Yes, Professor Faraji.
Spell it.
Faraji.
Wait, F.
A
Yep.
R
Yep.
A J I.
Raji.
I would like you know many of the people here. I would like to introduce you to our guests. These are the Iron Will. This is Professor Amon Faraji. Amon Faraji. The Storm That Walks, apparently, is his title, and he insists that we introduce him as such. Vesh laughs a bit, and there's a few giggles from, like, Mira behind, but Amon remains very stone-faced and doesn't say anything and approaches, walks up to the gazebo.
Does he have to talk?
Moment. I believe you all bring dangerous tidings, as the message said. I will be interested in hearing them.
Sorry, what kind of storm that walks? Red storms? Or...
You just see almost like across his blackened shoulders, there's just like a blue lightning bolt that just like crests
He's the
across
blue
it,
kind.
and his eyes almost like flare up with like
Oh, he's rated.
lightning.
Just massive rated.
Yeah, now do yours.
Do yours.
No. Well met.
You take 400 lightning.
I back away. Is there a column nearby?
You just stand behind
I
me.
back away a little bit. I sit down with like my back toward the
He
column.
he looks at you and like looks you over a little bit and like narrows his eyes a bit and then continues to walk in and takes a spot near the back of this gazebo, which is now getting very crowded. By the way,
I'm just gonna lean to Volro and Melira, just and quietly kind of whisper to them. I honestly don't know what's going to happen here right now. this is very unexpected, but to be honest, at this point, we're trying to just be open-minded and see whatever edge we can get against Karis. Time is not on our side, really, so hold any thoughts until after that we can reconvene amongst just ourselves. Just keep your eyes and ears open for anything you may catch.
Who do you tell this to?
His,
Volro and
his lovers.
His new team.
Volro nods and I'll keep my eyes open and my mouth shut. May almost like giggles a bit. I'll speak if I deem need necessary, but
I figured as much.
And I'll lean to Asher and go, we're very careful, I think we can take them all. Be ready for anything. You may have to put those boots to practice.
As you were talking amongst yourselves, you almost like get surprised as out of the trees behind the gazebo, a figure almost like crouches low and like ducks out from within the trees, and like just comes into the gazebo as though she has been there the whole time. And she's warm, freckle skin, long reddish blonde hair, layered robes of muted brown and orange, embroidered with faintly visible glyphs that are mostly out of view underneath, like on the cloak and behind her. There's a delicate chain around her neck that bears a large crystal pendant that seems to be constantly shifting colors. She's got long ears, longer than elf ears, and her skin and hair almost looks like a messy, like almost like a shrub that you're looking at. Her eyes are this unnaturally bright, vibrant shade of orange.
Some sort of fey creature.
I hope I'm not late. As she realizes that she hasn't been able to sneak into the meeting, and Vesh just looks and Head Professor Doriana Valeris.
Dory
Valeris.
Doriana
Valeris.
How's that last name spelled?
Valeris.
VAL.
ERIS.
Yep.
I feel like we know another Valeris.
Professor Doriana
Valeris is the name of
Doriana
A
is the name
world.
of a margarine
in
or
my
something.
book. Yeah.
You like butter.
It's a place in Akhtar.
He's the head professor of the Department of Conjuration and Planar Studies. I imagine you were off gallivanting somewhere and couldn't be bothered to drag yourself here on time. And she looks around and says, I'm not the last person here. And as she says this, you turn and you see down the hallway a man walking. A very plainly dressed, plain blue robes.
Basic bitch, man.
White
Bob.
pants.
I am Bob.
He's a human. He's like gray hair, a gray mustache. Looks kind. He has like a little bit of a smile on his face.
Oh, this is the most powerful motherfucker.
Yeah.
For
He
sure.
steps down the pathway and approaches. He gives you all from unfamiliar faces. Pleasure to meet you all. Welcome to the academy. Vesh, just Headmaster Sahir. I'm glad that you managed to attend this council.
It's that guy that I
And
said.
apologies for the
And he is the most.
So what? How do you swallow this thing?
SAAHIR.
Amon's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
SAA?
SAA.
Iron Will, this is Headmaster Alden Sahir.
Oh, Alden.
It's Aiden, actually.
ALDN Sahir. Is the head of the Prismatic Council and will be chairing this meeting that I have called. And at this, he raises his voice and says, thank you to all of you for attending. I understand it was at the last moment, but certain things occurred yesterday that I believe warrant a discussion. She, as he says this, the figure almost like stand up, and Alden Sahir steps into the gazebo. Takes a look at you all. The Iron Will, he mentioned. Would you like to introduce yourself now that the rest of us are all here. I'm sure you've already introduced yourself to everyone else, but I would like to know who I'm speaking with. Certainly. Big one. You can
Well,
go
we've
first.
already met, so. Oh, you said that's my name, the big one.
Oh,
Pleasure. And
fascinating.
I'll go.
Pleasure to meet you. I see from your garb that you're some form of an artificer.
Oh yes, from the Rex State of Schema, actually.
Oh, classically trained. Impressive.
Thank you.
I stand up from sitting on the floor.
Yes, little one. that was a joke. I understand your name is probably not that.
Giant's
No.
That
crossed my mind.
In fact, I
Um,
think you're, for your kind, a foot or so taller than most.
Hi. Hello, your headmaster man. I'm
Just Alden is fine.
I like that
Just
master
master.
man. That master man is way more appropriate.
I am Timon Ironbeard of I'm a smith of training and
Slayer of dragons. He's a slayer of dragons.
and Timon's nervous. It's kind of like blanking out a little bit.
You're,
Like,
you're among friends here. You will be safe, and so long as everybody here is honest, there's nothing to worry about.
I'm just not used to being among high folk.
I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Pleasure to meet you all. Blair Talk. I forgot the name of my city.
Cornwall.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This meta.
Back.
Holy shit.
I'm from Cornwall.
Pleasure.
Who's my sister again?
What is my name?
Yeah. And who am I?
Blank,
And who are you?
I blanked out.
Perhaps after this meeting, we should have a chat. I might have. We'll chat afterwards.
Sure, Mr. Headmaster.
Please call me Alden. And as he turns to you,
Headmaster.
Hi, Arkmere Croft. Pleasure to meet you.
Alden, sit here. Pleasure to meet you. He
Uh,
touches your hand. It's a little bit mighty cold.
how does his hand feel to me?
He's got you all figured out.
Clammy.
Yeah.
Normal.
I'm a little sweaty.
You need a towel there, please, man?
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Welcome to our city.
Pleasure to meet you.
I hope the academy and the folks here have been treating you well, not teaching you well.
For the most part. Yeah.
This is who we should try stealing from. Really made it work.
I've already stolen everything.
Wait a minute.
off of you.
He turns to you and looks at you.
Astra Maris, but you can call me Astra, and this is Hoku.
Pleasure to meet you. Welcome.
Yeah.
Just a little bald.
He like
Top of his head.
yeah. He like walks over, like makes a gesture to like pet Hoku on your shoulder, and he's like, "May I?"
I look at Hoku. Does he give me any apprehension?
He's like leaning back a bit, but as the like
He's shy, but he's friendly.
he like
That's what
raises his
friends
hand
do.
on his head and almost like begins to like scratch him like behind the ear and just like on his head. Hoku seems to calm down and almost like rubs his head against his.
Okay, that's enough.
Leans a little too much.
No. He's not.
Oh. Your bird explodes.
Have you met before?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Does he look familiar to me at all?
Really? Make a history check.
Oh boy. Oh boy, boy, boy.
I'm telling you right now, you probably need like a 22.
Nat
or
20 only.
3 to pass this. 22
I have a
probably.
+6,
Flash of
and it doesn't matter. 16.
No, doesn't look familiar at all.
I don't think so. Have you ever been to North?
I've been to quite a few places up north. Yeah.
No, it's pronounced north.
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 North. Indeed. And as he see you and Volro and May, you three were, I imagine, together in some sort of way. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Alden Sahir, and yours.
Calthea, pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you. Welcome to our city.
What's your last name? Arkmere or something?
Croft?
Edgar.
Well,
Calthier Edgar.
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 as he-
To rearrange the letters
Volro,
in his name.
Edgar.
Volro
You
introduces
figured out
Volro. Malira almost like Hans and Faz. Malira, pleasure is mine. Alden looks to you as you seem to be almost like a little bit in front of Volro and May at this point. I believe, you know, we. Quiet kind. I like it.
Everything all right?
Oh, certainly. I was simply expecting you to ask something of me, or introduce yourself, or say something. But I gather you're a bit of the quiet kind. Nothing wrong with that.
He's full of himself.
That's what he did.
The rest of the professors have almost like formed like a bit of a ring around the outside at this point. And Alden walks to the entrance of the gazebo and stands there. You were almost like thinking of a clock. You guys are at like the 10 to 11 p.m. spot almost, and the entrance is at like the 12
What
p.m.
if
spot.
we were
Everyone
like-
else is kind of like scattered around the rest of it.
What if we were at the 11 a.m.?
Oh shit.
Shit. And like the headmaster stands at in front of the gate at the 12 p.m. slot. Well, Vesh, you invited us here. We've all gathered. We're all. What of it? And actually, no. The headmaster doesn't speak. The headmaster just stands at the front. It's Azarius Phaedron who speaks and says, "Well, Vesh, you've invited us here. We are all taking valuable hours and minutes out of our day to
This is not
be here. What is the purpose of this meeting?"
So,
The blind.
The prissy bitch.
Yeah, I wrote snobby dude.
Vesh steps forward into the center of the chamber. Thank you all for gathering here. This is a meeting of grave importance both to our council and to our city. Certain events occurred yesterday that are hopefully forgivable, but in their current nature, perhaps not. But before we dive further into this meeting, I would like to invoke Article 6 of the Librum Prismatica, Sanctum of Privacy. And as he says this, there are a few eyebrows that are raised around the chamber as they look back at him. The headmaster doesn't say anything. They're almost like narrowing their eyes. The Sanctum of Privacy dictates that what occurs in this room is kept within purely
Stays in the basement. Stays in the basement. We're quite
Yeah.
familiar.
purely within this
so that's a
chamber.
little clue, you know, what he's trying to say. Like,
And in order to prevent any surreptitious clairvoyance, we will be making this gazebo hermetically secure. As he looks around. Any objections? Any vote of consensus? And you gather a little bit of a hesitance in his voice as he says that. Nobody steps forward for a couple of seconds. And then head diviner Lisvaris steps forward. I will provide my vote of consensus and ensure that the privacy sanctum is placed upon this gazebo. With this spell, no divination within here, these chambers will be possible. No lies will be possible to be told within this chamber.
You're fucked.
No surreptitious means of communication, no telepathy, no no outside interference. What happens in this meeting
Sad.
stays in this meeting.
That's the title.
There we go.
And as she says that, the headmaster, with the consenting vote, I will enact, and he begins to cast the spell. And just arcane energy just flows from both of his hands as he holds them up. His eyes go completely pale blue. Energy begins to whip around the gazebo, and everything from outside of the pillars of the gazebo seems to slowly fade away into just this black darkness. As he says that, Mira, there won't be any illusions in here either. And as he finishes the casting of the spell, you look around, and several of the people who are standing around you look quite different. You gather that while some put on appearances of not being ready for any sign of danger, most of them actually are.
What is Faraji?
Well, that's similar to what
Faraji
Liz
look
Varus or whatever did before, right?
Yeah.
She had like some crazy battle regalia stuff on.
Faraji would be a tiny person.
Put my goggles on.
Mirakalani, as Article 6 is invoked, she, like, the illusion that's masking her appearance drops. And she visibly appears almost like battle ready. She's got an exoskeletal suit of armor around her, with a massive engine of pulsing blue energy crystals mounted to her back, electrosteel connected to it, to her arms, to her legs. Her hair is actually much grayer.
Who's
There's
this?
a wrinkled skin.
Kalani.
Wait, is she like?
She's like the enchantment.
Yeah.
Like,
Is this like kind of like a mech suit that she's in?
Basically, yes.
Damn.
It has. It reminds you
Put a heart
of
beside
many.
her.
It reminds you of many things that you saw in Schema. There was the battle suit that the Iron Cog, the chief, like those guards used to wear.
Yeah.
Kind of inspired by that. Kind of inspired by like the one backpack that you saw once at Clanko's shop. The massive blue crystal on the back that's just powering this engine that's just whirring behind her reminds you of some of the stuff that Galeron's like construct had. It's a mishmash of different things, but it looks very bespoke and it looks like impressive.
Is this the person you said that to me looked too young?
Yes.
And now you're saying she had like gray hair?
Yeah.
So it's all facade.
She looked too young.
Like when she was talking to me, she was like, "Oh, I haven't been a schema since before whatever," and I'm like, "She looks like she's 20."
Yeah.
Now she looks old.
For Professor Fagrin, what you notice is that the arms that are covered with tattoos, like the silver on them, the tattoos are constantly moving.
Fuck yes.
They're like shimmering
It's
across,
actually sick.
almost like just through the skin. And that's surprisingly only the second most jarring thing as you see them. With the most jarring thing being that while the tattoos are moving at what seems like normal speed, the rest of him is
Normal
like
speed?
shuddering, jittering, almost like
Oh.
low frame rate.
So
He's like
kinda
moving in a
out
little bit of a herky jerky. He's a little bit out of sync.
Does it look sort of like
But-
the Echo stuff?
Kind of.
Do
God
they call
damn.
him Quicksilver?
He's a little bit out of sync with the rest of the things occurring around him, but the tattoos are not.
Weird.
Remember how I said we could take them? I rescind that statement.
Professor Elias Hamoudi, what you notice, the black coat that he was wearing, it's almost like into these like shoulder pads that he has.
Cauldrons.
And his arms, well, like they were previously just like coming out of the sleeve, they're not in the sleeves. They're just like he's just got his folded in his like cloak, like coat is basically like billowing behind him. He's standing up a little bit straighter than he was, and just all around, all on his belt, there's just like a bunch of vials, a bunch of pouches. His attire looks pristine and clean, but this black coat that's just like dangling around him loose, like fairly loose, is just like billowing behind him, and he's standing staring at you all. You don't see the back of his coat, but there is something there. If you catch a glimpse of it, I'll let you know. Professor Amon Faraji looks almost the same, except he's not shirtless. He is actually wearing a rather heavy suit of armor, like blackened metal that kind of matches the shoulder pauldron that he had, as well as like golden plates that form like the rest of his like breastplate, essentially.
I wish he was a gnome.
Yeah, it's just,
His illusion is that he's a giant Goliath, but he's actually this little tiny dude.
In the like across his pecs, he's
It's
got
just
like the
nip
chest
bar.
plate of like has like rippling, almost like heat marks, like haze, like heat haze. It kind of looks like shimmering heat haze across his chest.
sorry,
Within,
who's
like,
this?
the
This
black
is
armor.
Faraji?
Right now.
Just
Faraji.
yeah.
And he's wearing this gauntlet with like fingerless gloves almost. That across the knuckles, there's just a perpetual bolt of lightning that's
So
just like
cool.
dancing across his.
God damn.
Blue lightning.
As the other thing you notice is that the boots that he's on as he's standing there, there's almost just like perpetually like static
So
charge,
cool.
almost like just coming off of it. Professor Valeris, you notice that her battle garb, while fairly similar to what she was wearing, she is wearing a thin sheet of very thin, lightweight,
Yeah,
small
she is.
chainmail armor. Her hair's it's not actually like it's loose, but as she begins her as her battle garb almost appears, she like sighs and it just begins to tie itself up into a bit of a braid,
God
and like very quickly just becomes like this long braid ponytail behind her head. As she sticks out her hand, a long halberd with like two tips appears, like two blades at the end. She holds it and like clings it onto the ground, kind of leans onto it. Professor Alden Sahir looks exactly the same.
Cocky bastard.
He's wearing his plain blue and white robes. Just standing there.
Does any of the armor or weapons seem like anything I've ever seen?
I think without like close investigation, I think Mirakalani's is the one that like immediately reminds you a lot of Schema. But the rest of it, not really.
What about Vesh?
He's battle garbed. He was already battle garbed.
Oh, that was
And
that was it
Lizards.
already.
Yeah,
Not-
they didn't
Oh.
come with illusions. They were already garbed for
Okay.
like in there.
He doesn't have like
Present
double cauldrons.
There's also no cauldrons.
Cauldron's just bigger and bubbling now.
Well, it would be like so another one
Yeah.
appears.
Oh my god, double cauldroned up.
Double cauldron poultry.
Do any of you all have any illusions or anything that are
I was
active?
wondering about that because when I feel like if I
My
had
penis
any
unfurled.
scars still from when Haster attacked me, like I would have been like I was casting Mask of Many Faces to hide them.
I would say it probably hasn't been long enough for them to fully heal, so some of them would be visible.
Okay.
I look at my arm. Anything different?
No.
Then no.
But yeah, as you all look around, you do see Astra's face is a little bit.
Half baby, half adult.
Diamonds take notice of the bruises.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I saw it happen.
Yeah, but you don't know what happened. I lied.
I don't know what
about
happened
it.
specifically. Wow.
I fell.
Wait, when was this?
We were traveling
It
somewhere.
was after you shot my bird.
Was
Yes.
that at the camp before we went into the storm?
Maybe before
Because
that.
I healed you during that too, but I didn't.
Mhm.
You didn't. Yeah, I walked up to you and could sense you were hurting, and I said, "Are you hurt?" And you're like,
Yeah,
"No."
you healed the damage, but
So I healed you, but now I'm
the
like,
scars.
but that would have also been
But I-
old big one.
I was. Oh yeah.
Oldish, newish. I'm so confused.
Lizwaris remains in the center of the circle. Vesh, in exchange for my vote of consensus, I would also like to invoke Article 6, subsection 3. And the rest of the
Oh no, you didn't.
the rest of
Out
the
here doing that.
while
Fuck your reaction.
while before there were a few raised eyebrows, now there's almost like a audible like gasp. And even the headmaster raises an eyebrow and says, "You understand what that means?" And she nods. It means that this is a council of war.
Subsection 6.3.
Article 6, subsection 3. While I understand that this might be mostly symbolic, I believe it serves as a good reminder as to the importance of this meeting and the secrecy that must be withheld in order to keep certain things that are discussed here from the people at large.
Council of War. Yeah.
That is the episode.
Oh, Council of War. I said meeting. That's way stupider.
The meeting of
Oh,
anti-peace.
I understand that while this is mostly ceremonial, it will at the very least cause the rest of the council to take these threats that I'm going to be speaking about seriously. Especially since they were raised by me. I've seen them. The rest of the... Even Professor Phaedron almost like softens a bit and lifts his hand up to his chin, and Mira steps forward. I will pass my additional vote of consensus. I believe 3 are needed in order to declare this a council of war. Vesh, do you provide consensus? Vesh nods and says, I believe there's enough. I've learned enough within the last day to know that certain outside forces are perhaps proving a risk to the city, and thankfully we have members of this adventuring group here who can corroborate that. I will provide consensus. This is now declared a council of war. We speak of grave matters and grave danger to the city. Lisvaris mentions, I bid Vesh to call this meeting. I wanted to make sure that it was from him, since it would show that it wasn't just strange visions that I had had. And I requested the attendance of these fine folks that brought me some of these tidings that I'd been previously blind to. Yesterday afternoon, within these very grounds of the Academy, I was attacked by arcane magics and constructs. We believe that this was related to disrupting things in the Academy. We believe that a contractor working under Professor Besh was partially responsible, but that there are other forces at play. I met with these fine individuals who saved my life, or at least the life of one of my very valuable servants. And I discussed with them a fate that I had not seen in my visions, something that I've been blind to and that had been very carefully kept away from me. They provided me with rather concrete evidence of a danger falling upon the city, quite literally. As she gestures to you all, would you have anything to add on this matter? all of them kind of look to you, all essentially.
Our leader will speak now.
Professor Zahir, or Headmaster Zahir, you may speak frankly. This council is of utmost importance, and I believe everyone here will treat you with fairness. If there is a danger to the city, I believe Lisvaris when she says this, but I would rather hear of it from the messengers themselves.
Sorry, could you repeat what Lisvaris said about the vision?
just that there's a grave danger that is falling upon the city. Then she said quite literally, but she turned
Okay.
to you all to fill in the gaps.
The vision that Lisvara speaks of is true in that we have seen it ourselves. We don't know if it is a future that is yet to come or just a possibility, but we believe there are those who are trying to destroy this city, destroy the world. Not entirely sure. But there is one individual that we are aware of who is heading a lot of this and does not care what destruction he leaves in his wake. And that individual is Karis Miranen.
There's a couple of nods around the chamber as you mentioned that name, from folks that you might not have expected. Head Professor Doriana Valeris was like a little bit of a, she tilts her head and nods momentarily. Mira Kalani, obviously, like you would have expected, like she shows recognition and almost like holds her head in her hand like that. The headmaster looks back as you mentioned. That name, I believe it's familiar. I've heard it here and there. I don't know exactly where. I have to take a look through my notes.
Karis is one of, if not the biggest reasons why there is no longer a Rexate in, I think it's in the Lake of Linbonham.
Oh, yes. Quite a tragedy that was. Interesting. And you say that whatever happened there, he's planning to undertake here?
I don't believe exactly. It sounds like potentially he may be trying to undo whatever was done in the past at any cost. Those he's working with probably have other ulterior goals. Potentially the destruction of Silthia is just one means to an end. Karis should not be alive. Karis is no longer the same entity that he was before.
Vesh almost like steps. He's still in the middle of the circle with Lisvaris and nods and says, "Yes, I have some knowledge of this Karis Miranen fellow. He's worked with my predecessor in this role of head professor, and I believe we've been in the same circles and some galas and gatherings and so forth. He's shown an interest in some of our students in the past, and I believe he still has some facilities within the West Wall that he works out of. If you believe that he is part of the threat here, we should definitely levy some sort of an offense on him. For context, the individual that I had hired to work at my behest, the former student and professor actually at my department, Lady Angelica Garnett, she I believe she had some connection with this individual as well, and perhaps with this plot entirely, unbeknownst to me. Would you like to clarify her connection with this plot at all?
Sorry.
This Lady Garnett, this contractor that I had hired, I believe she had some sort of a connection with Karis as well, and perhaps with this plot that proves a danger to Silthia. Would you like to clarify upon that behalf? I believe yesterday's attack upon the head diviner was in part orchestrated by her.
She appears to have her own agenda in some sense. I guess maybe to start, become aware recently that she may be my sister. Now, I don't think that should change anything to how you judge me. Hasn't affected how I approached her or anyone else. That said, now, when we did, I guess, encounter or face Lady Garnett, she attempted to, I guess, set loose a dragon on the city. We were able to take care of that to some extent. But through that we learned that she was operating the means of, one, I guess, freeing our father, but two, working, I guess, as an assistant to Karis.
Interesting. Well, the head diviner turns to you all and says, yes, of important note as well is that the vision that I foresaw that these folks brought to me was a vision of a massive structure and landmass falling from the sky above the city. I believe some of you are aware of what lives within the storm above. I hope you all understand that an event like that would be seismic, not just in the destruction of the city, but perhaps the continent. To this, Phaedron almost like... So you're saying that the theory of the Red City is in fact correct, and there is something above, and Liswaris nods. Yes, some of our group are potentially already aware of this. We have spent much time and resources ensuring that it remains mostly hearsay, but when you receive visions of things, sometimes you see the storm. Alden Stayer, the headmaster, nods and says, I can confirm that up within the sky above us is a fortress or city of sorts that remains within the storm. Is this what will befall our city?
Perhaps if we do nothing.
Well, then we definitely have to do something. I hope you all don't mind me saying this, but if that city and perhaps some form of the thing keeping the rest of the storm at bay was to be upset, it would upset the delicate balance between the chaos and order that forms within this world, so to speak. You think you all are capable enough to stop that?
I don't know. I don't know if we can stop whatever's in front of us. But when I met these folks and when I left Schema, I said I would do whatever it takes. And I'm gonna try.
Keres is quite powerful. We encountered a version of him, a shadow of him that fought us, and it was very, very powerful. Took one of us down with a single hit. They also controlled these wolves, these unnatural beings.
It appears Karis has very powerful necrotic abilities, and as far as we know, he's, at least right now, not exactly killable.
Professor Valeris steps forward. Yes, I have a few contacts within certain other realms of existence that have spoken of this Karis as a plague upon our lands. I believe he has some sort of a connection to the Fey realms, and my people themselves are not very happy with him at the moment.
This is Valeris?
Yeah.
Is that confirming she's Fae?
You
Ish.
gather that.
Okay.
Yes, I believe whatever he's doing is having an adverse impact across our homeland, and put out a few feelers to try and figure out what was happening, but none of my contacts returned.
Does the name the Weaver mean anything to you?
Oh, Gastonblund. Yes, it does. Gastonblund is an old archfey of the Unseelie Court. Is he who Karis has been working with. I would certainly explain some of the unnatural incursions that have been occurring near the part of the Feywild that he's begun calling his own.
Player talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't know the exact name. I thought there was something that came up. You
Mhm.
mentioned that the Weaver, like, is it Clanko as well? Like,
I don't remember about Clanko. Karis definitely met with the Weaver when he showed up in the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
That was Weaver first gave us the name Karis.
Karis.
Yeah.
That's...
But we were taking an interest in you all because Calthir looked a lot like Karis.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know much else other than Weaver Snow, he knows about Karis. So you assume at this point that they are connected more ways than one.
It really likes her riddles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does. The Weaver, or Gessamland, was essentially very high up within or is essentially very high up within the Unseelie Court. He's the Vizier of Riddles to Lexanal, the Mask Eater. If wherever he goes, Lexanal surely paid some form of an interest.
I don't know if I'm understanding all the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yes, so apologies. My Fey nature makes my mind wander as well.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you. Gessamblund, the Weaver, as you call him. He's the vizier, the second in command to Vexenel, the Mask Eater, the
Write that
archfey
down.
of riddles, lies, and forgotten truths. One of the rulers of the Unsealing Court.
Alright, you have to see before.
So we're saying that Karis is potentially working with the Unseelie?
That would explain several things. To this, Mira steps forward and says, one other thing. There were a bunch of constructs that also attacked Maya. I made some of them. They were powered by some engines that I had acquired and they were sent to me from Schema. I have since recalled all the constructs that were assembled with these parts. All save for 2 have returned and been decommissioned. 2 are still out there. Wasn't able to track them down. These construct parts were provided by an artificer from Schema. I'm hopeful that this was an isolated bad actor and not an act of war being declared by the Rexite. I hope, considering that you might have some additional knowledge upon this.
Do you know the name of the fella or fellette that gave you the parts?
I purchased them from Klenko, the conjurer.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
That piece of shit.
Oh
Never
yeah,
trusted them.
it's under our assumption that Klenko.
That he's a piece of shit.
That, yes, in bigger words,
So an isolated bad actor then.
yes, I believe he is actually part of what we have learned to be called the Trinity with Mr. Karis.
That makes sense though.
He also talks very odd.
He does. I have met him. Yes, well, 2 of those constructs are still missing. The rest of them have been retrieved and decommissioned, and I found within the engines that were provided to me very well hidden runes that could be activated by chaos magic in order to assume control over them. Now, the interesting thing is that the radius to assume control over them is fairly short, so whoever did that must have been around. I wouldn't know where, but that is what I discovered so far.
I mean, could have been another of his constructs that activated it, because he has a lot of those.
Could be. It simply needed to be able to activate the mechanism within a distance of roughly about 60 to 100 feet. I think.
Not far at all.
When you say chaos magic, is that like the red lightning stuff?
Yep.
Oh,
Well, Lady Garnet was recently here. As we let you know, she tried to put a dragon in the city.
Could have been her. Could have been her.
You may have noticed her. She was within 100 feet though, but I'm not sure. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Does it just need to be the presence of chaos magic? Or something actively need to be...
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't have a readily available source of chaos magic to test it out with, so.
And we're certain they're in this city?
I have. And I punch my fist together and I cast Giant Smite on myself.
And then look at the RG.
Yeah.
As you begin to crackle with this red lightning, everybody kind of looks at you and almost like takes a little bit of a step back.
I mean no aggression. Don't fuck me up.
Professor, the headmaster looks at you and almost like has a smile on his face. Yes, I see the runes here. You channel the power of the chaos. That makes a little bit more sense. So are you a Riftwalker?
TBD.
Sorry, which one? Ask me
The
this.
headmaster.
I don't know. I don't think I am.
He hasn't believed
It's
you.
complicated.
Interesting.
I've also never found anybody else other than the Weaver who have been able to like really tell me much about them.
They're from what I know, they're a group of esoteric wandering knights, soldiers, mercenaries that seem to appear wherever needed and disappear with equally enigmatic means. So your appearance here seems to surprise. Well, it might surprise some, does not surprise me at all.
Means you're a rift walker.
Confirmed.
How do I know if I'm a Rift Walker?
I believe you are here in a moment of grave danger to perhaps deliver our city to safety.
I would like to help.
I think that meets the criteria. Also, you can channel that. As he says that, Amon Faraji looks to you and walks up. The storm in his eyes crackles and turns into a bright red. The bolt of lightning dancing around his knuckles becomes bright red. Like across the middle of his like blackened chest armor, the rune of like lightning bolt rune of Agonaz just appears searing.
He is Hagenaz.
Agonaz is a rune, just like mine.
Yeah, you're sweaty.
Well met, brother.
I didn't know you were a brother.
He clasps your hand and let's go. I've been in the storm. I'm not what you would call a rift walker, but I've ridden it. It's beautiful.
I have so many questions, but I think they can wait.
Yes.
It's so rare. It feels like it's been almost 4 years that I've been trying to find somebody to tell me stories.
Mira steps up and says, "Well, why didn't you just? You know what? Never mind." And she like begins to rummage through like a pouch in her side that is pretty small, but she sticks her hand in, feels around, and pulls out this like massive, almost like 3 foot tall electro steel canister. That just has inside of it a bunch of like cogs and metal, like some things that are spinning, and she tosses it out like in between you all, you and him.
What's that?
As soon as it gets near you, it begins to sparkle with like red lightning, and like it begins to almost like charge it up and wear it, and then it just it's like fully charged and it's just like rattling with energy as it's like standing in between you two. I guess that answers that question. There's just something needs to be near it. This was within some of the constructs that the constructs that attacked
You can
Lazarus yesterday.
You can awaken the contracts.
But I'm trying to remember that fight, but I think they started attacking before
The elementals started attacking
the elementals did.
Lazarus.
Some other sources of this magic might exist if just
Because
some sort of a way of delivery.
The professor has seen me do this before.
Yeah.
And it was in the intention of helping her. Him. Her.
They.
Well, regardless, we need to stop this red city above us from falling upon us.
We
I
should-
believe that's the primary course of action at this moment.
Well, if the home in the storm is of news to some of you, may also be worth mentioning that there are many other things in the storm, including an entity calls itself Kazmarath. It's possible that Clanko or some of them may be working with or for or trying to do something with this entity. When we first met Clanko, he was studying the storms. He actually, before we learned more, asked us to help his constructs
Come into the store.
go into the storm and probably extract readings, understandings about what was going on and return it to him. I think he's
The
trying to
const-
understand the chaos magic to some degree, the storms, how they work. But I also found writings potentially from Clanko, speaking of the Eye of the Storm, which I believe has to do with Kazmarath.
Who's a big eye, by the way?
Yes.
Oh,
Floating meatball.
lovely.
Like a big ass floating eye with a bunch of other eyes.
I understood that there were dangers within the storm. I didn't expect the Beholder to be one of them. The headmaster.
Is that what it's called?
That's what you described. Fascinating creatures. Quite deadly. You know of this creature
We've seen it.
and survived.
Not all of us, we think.
I mean, I got zapped by one.
So I recommend being quite careful with those creatures.
We ran away and we fell here.
He seemed like he might be more than just a typical beholder. He definitely wants to be here. Not in the storm, but like here.
Well, if the city was to fall, that would certainly happen. How much do you know about the floating landmass above us?
I believe it's the city of Redhorn.
I don't know anything.
That there was some big magical event that went wrong and destroyed the city, but didn't.
Wasn't that the same ritual that Karis used?
Well, yes.
Ish.
Ish. There were a couple of things that happened. So there was a ritual that happened at the wreck site of Red Home that caused the city to like be destroyed and a bunch of people to die. But then the city was like transported to Silthia and anchored above this to form almost like a fortress of sorts, like
Question.
a bastion within the Red Lightning.
Question above the table. Who told us this?
Fisher.
Yeah.
Fisher, right? Yeah, I found my notes, but I couldn't find who had said it.
You know, the
Wiped
person who
from
doesn't
existence.
exist.
Yeah.
Amon Faraji turns to the rest of the room and says, I can perhaps illuminate a bit. I have been up there. That is where I spend most days when I'm not busy down here, keeping the walled fortress safe from all of the threats that befall it. My abilities lend quite well to that.
You've been there?
Yes.
Have you sorry, quick side topic, but have you met any other Rift Walkers?
I have not. The fortress seems abandoned.
By any chance?
You mentioned the Riftwalkers. That is, in fact, their fortress. That is news to me. The fortress has been abandoned since the entire lifetime that I've been going up there. I've been simply keeping it secure to stop any threats from emerging from it and attacking the city.
That's what I heard. And have you heard of an Anya Ironbeard?
Name doesn't sound familiar.
Does anybody else raise an eyebrow?
That's an interesting question. No.
Alright. Sorry. Continue on.
Yes, the fortress up above does have within it a chamber that took quite a bit of effort to break into. And within there is a fascinating arcane artifact, which is also part of why I go up there, is to ensure that the safeguards and barriers placed upon that artifact are still intact and secure. I believe that artifact is what's keeping, based on my research over the last few years, I believe that artifact is what is keeping the city above in place. And if it were to be removed, I imagine the city would fall down upon us. So if that is perhaps the fate that you see for our city, then it is because this artifact is what Karis and this Trinity are after. I gather.
What is this artifact?
So you all know that there is something known as a Nexus Anchor, I believe is what I called it.
It is now.
That sounds familiar. I just don't remember what it was.
Which was put in place to keep the fortress, like of Redhome, anchored above the city, and not just above the city, but bordering the two planes of existence, bordering the material plane and the Chaoslands. So to keep it in place so that it forms like a fortress between these, like, that has access into the Chaoslands, so that the Riftwalkers have an ability to go into, essentially. And that was meant to be the purpose of this fort of Redhome entirely, was to form like a bastion from which the Riftwalkers could work to keep the storm at bay and buy the Watcher enough time to complete whatever the fuck it is that the Watcher was working on.
Did he mention Nexus Anchor?
He didn't mention the word. He just mentioned that there was an artifact, and he's been spending the last little while researching it, and he believes that that is the purpose of that artifact.
What does that artifact look like?
About the size of a room. It's
That's a
massive.
big artifact. Yeah.
Built of almost pure arcane energy, prismatic magic that's pinned to the ground, is shaped in almost like a. It's hard to describe. Think of concentric archways of sorts, made of pure prismatic energy and strange material. Though one thing to note is that around it, time seems to slow almost completely down. It makes researching it quite difficult.
Do you know what it is?
I've never seen anything quite like it.
Slowing down. That almost sounds the opposite of the effect of the storm.
It does.
I should remind folks that we had heard that Lady Garnet was looking into this kind of magic. It's possible she was looking into the artifact. And if their plot was to bring down Redhome and that thing is holding it together, she may be trying to understand what it is and how to destroy it.
Is this anchor news to anyone else in this room?
Like a bunch of people around the room raise their hands. Lisvarius doesn't. Vesh does. Stahir doesn't. I tend to keep myself well informed on. He looks at you and says, "I tend to keep myself well informed on the discoveries made by all of the members of the council. Professor Faraji and I have been discussing this material together. The effect is quite fascinating. I myself have not personally seen it, but if I were perhaps capable or immune to the effects of the storm, I would love to go and interact with it, but sadly not my forte."
How do you get up there? Asked Faraji.
He holds out his other hand and begins to cast a spell. And as he does, his entire form almost just becomes this like red translucent energy lightning, like formless lightning figure, almost like, you know, he almost looks like an elemental. You've seen lightning elementals before, I think, but he's made of almost pure crimson energy and lightning. and he like floats up off the ground momentarily, almost like jaggedly zipping up into the air, and then like lands.
That's fascinating. Is that a rune that I can learn?
Momentarily afterwards, he. It's not quite that simple.
Oh,
My people invented riding the storm. My people. We are the storm. I am the storm that walks. It is not simply a title that I've given myself, it is a title amongst our people. The storm is home to me, and that is why
we met some of the desert people that are, I suppose, followers of Aganaz, and we particularly met one cute man
I think it's pronounced cutie man.
who was there but kind of wasn't there, and he had this really cool bracelet that went away.
well, perhaps now I have more reason to believe you all.
Some say it might be my dad. Do you know anything about that?
I don't think Gutman has any children. But I have met with him. I have spoken with him. Gutman often visits Red Home in so much as his spirit visits Red Home.
Aye, his body was very much kind of dead.
Yes. If you have met him, then I have more reason to believe that you have actually traversed the storms and seen some of the Chaoslands. And if this Kazmarat is indeed true, you have at least my trust.
It was after we met Kutman that we had the vision and that of the. I mean, not me. I didn't have a vision, but that my friends had the vision of a Red Home falling, and that we went into the storm and we were attacked by a dragon, and after by Kazmorat, and we ran away.
Fascinating.
But Kutman was saying that it doesn't make any sense to me. He was saying that the fate of his village depended on us going to the storm, figure something out. All that we figured out is that Kazmarat was there and that we had to run the fuck away. Learn nothing other than that he existed. And I guess of the threat to the city.
Gutman always kept his. Gutman always has a bit of a esoteric sense of keeping his cards close to his chest. He always means everything he does has a meaning to it. It's just a matter of figuring out what it is sometimes with him. I'm much more matter of fact. If Red Home is falling and if these people are behind this or after this artifact, I'm glad that this council has occurred, where I will go and ensure that the defenses upon it are fortified. To which Liswaris steps forward. Yes, we must continue to remain focused on the challenge at hand. I understand that some of this knowledge is very important, and that we have already spent a bunch of time on this. Time is of the essence. This Karis you mentioned, he has some established locations within the city. Garnett, you mentioned you had come across and she had left the city. Do you have any idea where she is? Do you have any idea where Glencoe is? Is this trinity of sorts?
Garnett is, we believe, in one of the 7 hells.
Oh, well, that's good.
She took a portal.
She's with
I hope she
Karis.
stays there.
Last we saw, she's with Karis, heading to Linvanum.
Oh, yeah.
They traversed the hells to get to Linvanum somehow.
some kind of portal system. I believe
Isn't the portal still open down there?
potentially is.
Could still be open if somebody wants to go investigate it.
I already have portal closed about an hour after it was open.
Oh, that was stupid of you. I'm just kidding.
And that's what Vesh says.
She actually. That note, it also appeared that they were using these, call those stones, those orbs or whatever, as devices, or as a means of communicating with each other. So when I used this particular orb, I was able to see Karis. And for at least a brief period of time, I believe he saw me.
Also, it has been a few weeks since we've been in Schema, but last we saw, Klenko resides there, at least partially. For as long as I was in Schema, I remember either hearing about him or knowing that he was in the city most of the time. With everything that's developed, I'm assuming he's traversed outside, but he does have a residency there.
He also mentioned before, I think, traveling to Icefall.
He would take trips, yes.
Whether or not that's where he was actually going, though.
You all have any contacts that we can reach out to figure out where Blanco might be at the moment? We can put out our own resources as well.
I mean, we have
some contacts in
Schema for certain.
I think that would be useful information to have. For Karis, I believe Vesh, you mentioned, yes, he, I believe, has a lounge of sorts within the west wall that he operated out of momentarily. I don't know if he's going to Linwanam. If he's going to Linwanam, then perhaps he's not there at the moment. But
which gives us an opportunity to get in there. He may have important items there, or at least something going on there.
We also suspect he might be some sort of vampire lich hybrid now.
Doriana Valeris looks and says, "That makes sense." Well, good luck to you all.
Who's this? Dorian?
Oh,
That's my girlfriend.
yeah.
My future girlfriend.
Dorian Billers. Yeah. I mean, speaking of Karis, I guess we also, many of you are aware, I guess he has some type of what they call sepulchers, or that he
Yes,
relies
mentioned
on.
something about Karis being a vampire lich lord thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely
quite
vampire.
confident he's not a lich.
Well, you might have your sources backwards.
That's what Vesh says. I would
Stupid.
recognize that magic if anybody within this city had invoked immortality like that. I would recognize it.
He seems to have obtained some means by which death would not, at least of his current physical body, would not be the end of him. He has a way to return.
Any
Such
other
that death
things
is not
we're not aware of?
scary.
Yeah.
He's done multiple things, it seems.
Vampires are themselves.
It's more than that.
He's able to be out in the sun as well. That already tells you he's gone beyond just the realm of vampire.
He's reached Edward Cullen level.
Yeah.
Doriana,
we've never seen before.
Doriana
Does
says
he shine?
He does.
Well-
that. He sparkles.
if he has connections with Gestemblind and perhaps even Vexenel, that would certainly explain a lot of things. The Archfays have ways of twisting fate and twisting reality to whatever they desire. That could perhaps be part of it. And certainly can grant immortality as a boon in exchange for some sort of a favor or a contract of sorts.
Okay.
This might be a shot in the dark, but are you aware of any ways that you could track down the, I guess, the sepulchers that someone relies on?
The reason that I was saying good luck is that I know of a Fey entity that is currently residing at the Dark Regret.
Who that?
Their name is Lissavara. Lissevara.
Lisse.
Lisse, what?
Vara.
Not Liz Varus. But
Yeah.
Lisa.
Lissavara.
Lisa.
Lissavara.
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 Lissavara, she's from that French part of Italy.
So Faye. I had dark regret.
They are a shapeshifter
Oh, good.
and one of the most deadly assassins in the
Sick.
entirety of the Unseelie court.
Oh no.
My father told me to stay away from them and perhaps be mindful of their presence in my city. My father is one of the members of the Archfey Court of Autumn.
Oh, you're so cool.
Now you notice like her hair and her mantle is almost like perpetually dripping, just like sparks that look like falling leaves.
Big ones in love.
They are quite terrifying.
Oh,
Well,
Would the kind of protective magic that was cast here protect us from one of you being the shapeshifter?
They wouldn't be able to get onto the academy. Alden laughs and then says that.
Then you'd want to please.
Yeah.
They don't have a stamp.
He closes his eyes and focuses. You all feel almost like you're being watched. And he opens his eyes. Nobody on this campus is a changeling or hiding.
how do
or
you use
anything
magic
like
in
that.
here? Hacker.
he created it, and he knows it's up. Well, that's good. I mean, seems like our next destination is the Darker Red. You're telling us there's this Fey assassin that we should stay away from.
Well, one of us was at the Dr. Grat not long ago and was eyed by a shapeshifter.
Wolro nods and says, I believe I know this Lissavara that you speak of, and they were indeed at the Dark Regret. I believe they've taken up residence there. Or, sorry, Doriana says, yes, I believe, from what my father said, they've taken up residence there.
Hypothetically, being from the Fey realm, Miss Valeris, do you happen to know how to kill one of these Fey assassin super beings? Do you have any magical crystal swords we could use?
Same way you would kill any being. You stab it in the heart until it dies.
Straightforward.
That doesn't
enough, at
work with a vampire.
That's
can
true.
Return back to its.
No. Listen,
Sepulcher.
about a shapeshifter. that one. That one we can kill.
Yeah. It's the same
She
thing. They
said
would kill
with
anything.
everything.
Everything.
Oh,
But if-
right.
Technicalities.
If she is a extremely talented assassin and shapeshifter, I imagine it wouldn't be exactly the easiest to always find her unless you have a means, whatever you apparently just did.
I wonder if there's something I can craft.
I can certainly bestow upon you a few poultices. Elias, you've been very quiet. Yes, there are certainly, and his voice does seem a little bit more stern and serious and not as jovial
And
This is
old
the half
man
orc,
like.
yeah?
Yeah. Yes, there's certainly some potions that can be provided to grant you all the ability to see the truth of matters. Ensure that none of these illusions can potentially fool you. However, these aren't simply illusions either. If this creature is a Fey entity, they actually have the ability to physically transform themselves completely and be nigh indistinguishable. But you mentioned, and he's talking to Woldro now, you mentioned that you saw this creature. Perhaps this creature, if they were visibly out of form, perhaps they prefer that as their form of being. Maybe you won't have to worry about them wearing different shapes when you get there.
Good.
Or they were caught off guard by someone who shares some resemblance to Karis.
They let down their guard a little bit too quickly, maybe.
Don't know if it would happen twice.
But let's just say you walk in and go, "Hi, I'm Karis." Do you think they'd be like,
Hey guys, this is me, Karis.
does that sound like Karis?
Doriana says, La Savara is a fickle being, an entity, a person, a thing. I don't imagine they're working for Karis. They might be, if anything, keeping an eye on him
Perhaps.
on behalf of the Unseelie,
Regardless,
on
I
behalf of Vexenal.
don't think this individual is our target by any means, more so just being prepared should they try to get in our way.
Perhaps factually, if there is some sort of agreement, or if there are Fey means keeping Karis alive, they might be one of the few people who have knowledge of that. If they are keeping an eye on Karis for Vexenal, which seems right to me, because nobody else would have the same pull at bringing the famed assassin.
Out of curiosity, were any of you aware of, I guess, Karis's presence at the Dark Regret?
To be honest, I don't have Alden Zahir says, to be honest, I have no real inclination to investigate everything within the city. I did not know that there was a ancient, powerful vampire lord general walking amongst Star City, but I also didn't know there were a group of travelers known as the Iron Will who had a Riftwalker with them walking through our city.
Confirmed. Is there anything you being... Can I call you the Almighty Eight? Is that your title? Do you have an
No.
official...
We are the Prismatic Council.
Mine's better, but that's fine. The Prismatic. Is there anything you could lend us? Any sort of aid that might help us in our next upcoming travels? I mean...
Like permanent?
You do make us seem pretty cool, but we are not like super beings or anything. I've already died twice.
I think also, to be a little blunt here, given what's happening to not only potentially this city but also the continent, if there is danger to everyone, what will you be doing? I don't imagine it's in your best interest to just put your trust in this group and hope that we succeed.
You are correct, and I do have great faith in you all to achieve what it is you are hoping to achieve. But we will be undertaking several actions. Amon, he nods. Ewan, is anyone else you know capable of defending Red Home? He shakes his head. Well, I guess then you. You're in charge of making sure that this arcane device is safe and secure.
You can't talk?
No, I know that, but I'm just debating if I...
Do it.
There is someone we know in the storms.
Another Riftwalker.
Maybe? Yes,
Anya.
that too, there is a Riftwalker, but we don't really know their whereabouts. But an individual, Theodore Constantine, who's quite familiar with Garnet and her doings. As far as we're aware, he is somewhere in the storms.
Is trustworthy.
So far, yes, man, yes.
I'll see if I can find them within the storms, but it really depends on how bad the situation is at Red Home. Every time I go there, there's different beasts and monstrosities wandering the halls that need to be dealt with. And I haven't been back in a couple of weeks, so...
I may be able to send word to him. I don't know where he is or what knowledge he has of the storms, but if he can make his way to Red Home.
Good to know.
If you see him and you need to get his trust, maybe tell him that you know Riff Walker Ironbeard, and my sister, man.
No, you. No, you. No, you.
And the Timon has his dagger.
Very well. I will reach out to my people as well. My tribe might have a few storm riders to lend us. We might be able to fortify the fortress. You might be able to fortify Redhome, at least momentarily.
What
At least
are
for a
the
few weeks.
storm riders?
Others of my kind.
So cool.
Yes, Vesh, you, I believe, know the most about this Karis fellow, as well as his connection to this Lady Garnett. And he nods and says, yes, also I believe I spent a little bit of time ransacking the offices of Lady Garnett to see if we could find anything that she had left behind. I gathered some of her belongings that might be of use to you all, not much use to me, that you may be able to take.
Space.
Well,
Blood goes first.
Wants to bang your sister. Not canon. Not canon. Troll.
the one person that you realize hasn't spoken much, if at all.
Let me guess.
Hamudi?
Vesh.
No.
Hamudi?
Sahir.
It's probably
So here's the
Lazarus or
headmaster.
Phaedron.
Phaedron hasn't spoken much at all.
But he looked cooler, right?
He does, but he's also like shuddering and appearing in like different. You hear him speak as almost like 3 or 4 voices that are all in harmony. One that's like a straightforward voice, one that's like lower pitch, higher pitch. That's it's kind of like
This is
resonating
at all
across
times
him.
like a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
And you just hear him say, "I will work with head diviner Lazarus. We will investigate the different timelines. We will see why this vision was not originally visible to her, and we will make sure that that never happens again." Lazarus says, "Yes, in fact, I need to make sure that I'm not caught by surprise on anything moving forward." She lifts up her hand and pulls down the like bronze like trident that's on her head, pulls it down, closes her eyes, and within the metal spikes of each of them, like 3 eyes open up.
Oh, yeah.
And then she opens her own eyes, and they're pale, milky white, all 5 eyes essentially.
Whoa.
Yes, Phaedron and I will explore all possibilities. We will learn what it is that may befall the city, and may befall Redhome. Perhaps we'll look further back in time as well. We have enough names and knowledge now to peer past and around and through any threads of fate. And as she says this, Phaedron almost like blinks out of existence. You don't see him for a moment, and then shimmeringly reappears. Yes. We will contact you if we discover any strangeness in the timelines. And he looks straight back at Astra.
That's weird.
Actually, just like
There's
Yeah.
one that might be able to
He
help.
his name's Elmer.
There's one among you that might be able to help. Professor Fainwell. I think he's not taken very seriously, but he has tried to talk about threats to the city.
Yes. That is a good idea. I will reach out to him. In fact, as soon as this
Balro is working.
privacy sanctum has dropped, I will reach out to him.
He knows of the he knows of this Trinity Trident thing.
Trinity.
And he says something about books that have hidden meaning. That might have some clue.
We'll reach out to him and see if we can get more information about what this group may be up to, maybe on a longer time scale. See if we can find clues in the past of what they've done. And at this, Mira looks up. And I'll be working on tracking down where the heck those two other constructs are. I have a feeling one of them is probably with Karis. That would be the smartest place to put it. The other one is probably the one that I should track down. If you all are going after Karis, then, or wherever he is, the other one might be the one that's in a bit of a blind spot to us. It's a bit of an unknown. Might also lead me more towards Clanko. After the trick that he pulled on me, I'm really excited to get my hands on his face again.
Count with my help. I would love to give him a whooping.
I at least expect a refund.
Same here. I'm pretty sure he stole some of my money.
At this, the headmaster nods to you. And I will make sure that the city remains safe. Thank you all for your remarkable candor, and I understand this conversation was probably difficult for some of you. And he looks at you all and
I mean, do any of you help us go into the dark regret and fight?
I don't think that would be wise.
Well, thanks for putting your trust in Yair and Will.
They're like, no, we're good.
I mean, is that it? Is that what we can expect of this all-powerful council of all-powerful people talking about war?
Maybe not piss them off.
We have
Any crystal swords at least?
Some money.
we are kept bound
Or
in
crystal
some
swords,
ways
so bad.
by the codex that we, or the Librum that we follow. The laws were set to make sure that we do not serve as the enforcers of judgment within the city. We are its protectors. If danger befalls the city, we will be at the front of the lines to keep it safe. But in terms of tracking down the potential threat and putting a stop to it before danger occurs, unfortunately, we are restricted from doing so.
So you guys are more of the reactive group, and not proactive. Sounds like a real effective strategy there.
We are the judge and the jury. We are not the
Sounds
executioner.
very familiar.
Can you give the executioners a better axe?
A crystal sword, maybe.
Whatever left.
I don't think any of you, and Aldous here actually looks at you and mentions, none of you seem to be using swords.
No, but I have this warhammer. I would gladly change for a crystal warhammer or
How about
a
this?
crystal sword.
What enchanted items do you have just lying around in your closet that you don't need? We'll just go through those.
Yeah. Or, like, Doriana, what are you doing on Tuesday?
And I really would like a returning weapon, because sometimes if I can get to whoever's hitting me, like I need to hit them back.
I like the specificness.
Like this dagger.
Is there a Mr. Valerius?
Actually, this specific model of this catalog.
I
I
wouldn't
circled
mind.
some items in
And
this
I wouldn't mind an upgrade to some plate mail, by the
Actually,
way.
for real, though, I think we are, like, completely out of potions, if that's viable.
Elias nods. And
I
yes,
was gonna say, Moody, hook us up.
I can.
Yeah, we got fucking strapped potions.
Take your pick.
He's like, I got nothing on me.
Just, like, closes flexes his coat. Yeah.
Well, Alden simply closes his eyes, drops the spell of the privacy sanctum. The gazebo, almost like the exterior of it, begins to shimmer, and you see the trees on the outside. It looks like no time has passed.
Cool.
I can certainly provide you all with some things as well. And I believe Vesh mentioned that there are some artifacts that he discovered in Lady Garnet's chambers that can potentially help, but if you have any else specific that you're looking for, I'm not sure I have any very specifically throwable weapons.
Just make this one come back to me when I throw it.
Let's start with what weapons do you have?
Yeah. What do you have?
I can provide
We'll
you with a
take it.
sizable amount of gold.
You like gold.
I like gold.
He likes gold. It's a
I
good
like
start.
platinum. But I mean,
That can be arranged. As he flicks his hand up and like reaches into his wrist and pulls out like a long, almost like wooden coin box, essentially. It just has coins lined up
Maybe I could do that.
in several rows. He puts it down. Probably need a few more. He pulls out like
One coin.
another one.
maybe some more for good measure.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Three.
As he pulls out a bunch of these, almost like lined up, very neatly organized boxes of coins.
Who's doing this? Sir?
So here.
So here.
He pulls out about 6 of them.
6 gold.
6 boxes of how many platinum?
Each one of these should have about 500 platinum.
Oh,
We're rich!
let's go retire. Let's go.
Did you say platinum?
Yes.
How many
It's in
bucks?
total. It's in
6.
total about 3,000 platinum.
Penguins never seen this much money.
Unfortunately, based on my title, that's the least. That's the most I can do. I am
That's
part of
more
the
than
treasurer.
enough.
Partly treasurer, partly headmaster, partly mostly just organizer of meetings and timekeeper.
Can you recommend a store in the city where we can get some better equipment?
No, there's probably several. There's the enchanting is part of the major industry within the city, getting all sorts of arcane magical items and magical goods.
Really? Can none of you make this a return when I throw?
It requires time in order to cast any of those.
But you can
Well.
stop time.
Vesh, what did
Not
you
all of
find?
us can stop.
What artifacts did you find from Lady Garnet?
First, Hamudi walks over
Oh, yeah.
and
Potion.
yes, you mentioned potions.
Please, yes.
I've got these 2 potions of superior healing, 2 potions of greater healing, and then he pulls out another couple of potions that look slightly different.
So if my math on that platinum is correct, Arkmir keeps 2,700 of it and splits the other 300. Now we divvied out a box each. The other box is up for grabs.
He pulls out another potion that looks very similar to a greater healing potion. It's like very exactly the same color, but it seems to almost be pulsing with like a faint glow, almost like mimicking heartbeat of sorts. He hands that to. I guess you're taking the
Sure,
potion.
yeah.
This is a potion of vitality.
Huh? Oh wow!
What's that do?
I don't actually know what that does.
Increase your health or something? Or maybe-
And then he pulls out another bottle that, at first glance, you think is empty, but it's
Sneaky,
not.
Sneaky. There's a purple.
It's got clear liquid in it that is at the top of the bottle instead of at the bottom. And he hands it to you. As he hands it, he like swirls it a bit and like clouds form in it. This is a potion of flying.
Oh, flying elephant! Hell yeah!
While I can't make your weapon go further or be thrown, perhaps this will help you go further.
You just fucking zoom with people now.
No, that's very helpful.
Too bad.
How many of those do you
It
have?
just has one.
Oh, alright.
It's a potion of vitality. When you drink it, it removes any exhaustion levels and ends poison conditions for the next 24 hours. You regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit point
That
you
part's
die
pretty
each day.
nice.
It's pretty good recovery potion.
Nice.
Short rest specialty, some would say.
Alright, how about the rest of the potion strategy?
I have everything right now.
I feel like we're just going around with like a trade. Everyone, alright, give us
Money, please.
money, potions. Alright, what do you got?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. This will certainly be a
And
great
I go to what's his name?
Amon?
Yeah, Faraji. I say, Mr. Faraji, is there anything that you can teach me?
How did
I
that
was just about to pull you aside. Pass me your shield.
He walks away.
takes the shield.
He shoots up to the sky. Turns like this.
He looks at me and says, "This is mine now."
What did you learn?
This was crafted well, and it appears to have a nature of the storm within it, but weak. It can be strengthened.
Player,
Because
talk.
this is the shield of gusts, right? Or did you? Is this
No.
a different shield?
This is the shield that I got from Gallup.
Yeah, no, that's the shield of gusts, right?
It
The
is. It's got the
knockback.
little knock in it for the
Yeah,
gun.
his
Yeah.
little knock. It's called the shield of.
probably guessed.
No, it's not the shield of ghosts. Something else. Alabaster chain shield.
Yeah, I think that like mechanically it does like the wind pushback, knocking you away and stuff, right?
No, it has.
Or no, that was a different shield.
No, this has
What does this one
a
do?
crystal in the middle.
Yeah.
When it's charged, the wielder of the shield gains resistance to lightning and thunder damage.
Mhm.
And if as a reaction, I can spend the charge to cast a shield spell.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Well, now it has a knockback.
Yeah, no, that's good.
He looks at it. He lays it down onto the ground.
Stops on it.
And he begins to cast a spell. And as he does this, he pulls out from his side. It appears out of nowhere, actually. It's just a crackling hammer of red lightning. I mean, it looks almost like a small, actually like a blacksmith's hammer.
Like a blacksmith's hammer? I would recognize
Yeah.
something like that.
And he kneels down and puts like a small stone onto the back of the shield and begins to carve a symbol into it. It's a rune that you do not recognize. But as he finishes, it seems to flare up with red lightning momentarily. It is shaped almost like 3 lightning bolts connecting to each other in like a trident shape, essentially. And then the 2 on the left are like, there's like a single line that's like crossing them. It looks kind of like a shield made out of lightning bolts. But it's fine. I can draw it afterwards.
My best attempt was this.
Perfect.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the one.
Yep, just that.
Sure.
He hands the shield back to you. I would like you to focus your energy and the chaos magic in particular into the shield. Would you like to give it a try?
Why?
You focus, and for a moment you think that nothing's happening. You're holding the shield and nothing's happening. You close your eyes. You open your eyes. The rune on the back of the shield is glowing. Nothing else seems to be happening. And then he says, "You can let go of the shield." As you let go of the shield stays there. And it begins to almost just like move around, like orbit around you. And he tries to punch you through, and the shield just like darts in the way and like blocks and bats it away.
It's like Doctor Strange's cape, or like a shield.
Oh. How do you call the rune?
It's less of a rune. It's more so just an enhancement to the shield that I've made, but it would only work with your particular abilities.
I don't have my shield.
You'll need to channel it with the storm, but it will gain the properties of essentially an animated shield.
Sick.
So if I go run now,
I
Arkner's
don't
gonna
think
go
that's
run that
something I
time
can
and
do,
just like try to punch him with his shield. Yeah, just flat.
But essentially, for a minute, once you use this ability, your hands will be free. Your shield will just be
that's
protecting you and
awesome.
giving you the benefit of the shield's AC
Two-handed
use.
weapon.
For
I
one
was
minute.
While
gonna say,
potentially
that's
being
huge,
able to
too,
use
yeah.
it.
You get the extra damage.
Yeah, because I've always used my
One.
Yeah.
my weapon as a one-handed.
Yeah.
The shield almost seems to have like a mind of its own and is able to like,
Does
as Arkmir comes up from behind to like try and grab you, the shield just like darts back behind you.
flank? Of course.
It's pretty
This all the runes that I learned, they're just simple words. They're like protector, cloud, storm. This seems more.
Yes, my people have long and complicated language that means many things at the same time.
I don't even know how I came about these abilities. I just started seeing these runes on the storms themselves, and somehow these came to me. How can I learn more? Do I owe these powers to some act of Agonaz? Does it want something from me?
Everybody has different beliefs about what our abilities, even among my tribe, what our abilities mean and what they represent. Many are afraid of them, even within our tribe. Many frown upon using the abilities. Many frown upon riding the storms. But at the end,
Nobody even believes or talks about Agonaz and Cornhall. My family was, not very practicing, but adept of Denax. So, why me?
my people, we don't necessarily believe that there's a reason for it. We believe that this is power that is gifted to our kind. It may be a blessing, it may be a curse. Many see it as a curse. Some, very few, see it as a blessing. But if we have power, if we have abilities, we should use them to protect and do the best that we can for the rest of the continent. And that is what I believe in.
Does your kind also age terribly when they go into the storm?
Not really, in fact.
I feel like I've aged a bit. I feel pains in my body that I didn't used to when I started this.
Knees hurt a little bit. Back.
Sure.
Oh, the artifacts.
Yeah, Zivanvesh just... Well, there was mostly just a bunch of gold. a few pouches of, I think, 4,000 gold pieces.
Thank you.
And then this. He lifts up. It's a cloth robe. I don't know if any of you would recognize it, but Astra definitely does.
Well,
It is a robe that looks like a night sky with the stars upon it.
Might need some
Sparkling
alterations,
and
but I can
twinkling.
make it work.
Yes, we as players would know that this is the robe that we have seen future Astra wearing.
It's okay, I got it. I'll wear it.
Um,
It's a new cloak. What's it called?
the robe of stars.
Robe of Stars.
It looks beautiful. It's made of like this almost like ethereal silk that looks like the or astral silk that looks like the night sky.
What is that? It's like one white man and a face out or something?
Yep. Perhaps this was her belongings and she didn't have time to abscond with it.
This was in Garnett's belongings?
Oh, then it's mine.
No, I already claimed it. It's
I'm
mine.
worried it.
But it seems
Fully sheer.
quite valuable and powerful.
Oh, that's great. Too bad we have nobody that really likes wearing that. Okay.
Well, I believe that's everything.
Oh
so
my god, I want it.
Just again, I hate to ask, but where did we land on the crystal sword?
I don't think we have
Okay, I just figured I would ask. That's fine.
I believe that with that, you all are equipped enough to potentially go after this Eris Marinon fella.
I mean,
You guys got some
I don't
cool
think we're heading
artifacts.
straight there. I don't know if we'll ever know if
Who's
we're
you guys?
prepared enough.
Yeah, you and me got that white.
But we have a direction to go. Dark regret is our starting point.
Yep.
We bid you good luck, and we will be working to the best of our efforts to ensure that the city stays safe. If any danger is to befall it, please let us know. But Professor Thicky almost like says to you all.
Thanks for your help, Doriana.
Specifically.
Yeah.
She is already gone.
God damn it.
She's already disappeared back into the woods.
I'll remember you.
That's
Well.
probably a good spot to wrap up this
Oh
session.
god, we gotta go kill
Well,
a fucking assassin who's
As
unkillable.
the Prismatic
No, we're
Council
just gonna ask you how to kill Karis.
breaks and
She'd be like, "Can I challenge
they form small groups of people of the wizards having conversations with each other. Amon seems to immediately walk off and head back to prepare for defending Reynolds on his own.
I put a star here to try to remember. I need to message Theo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Theo.
Yeah.
Not Teddy.
Alright. Oh boy. We got to get
Next
some
time,
shit.
we will dive into Dark Regret
Oh shit.
and see what happens there.
I can't wait to kill.
So
Kelfish.
Wait.
Alright.
So that's it for the session. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.